grabbers, welcome to Goat Talk this morning. We are here with the one and only Ashley Jackson. Ashley is a real estate investor, one of the REI professors, and she's going to tell you guys a little bit about that in just a bit. I just want to welcome you all first to Goat Talk. We're coming to you live today from our courtyard here in French Quarter, New Orleans. So don't be surprised if you hear some of the lovely sounds of New Orleans. That could be anything from crows cawing to sirens blaring, occasional trumpet or trombone or garbage truck, but that's okay. We're having a good time. Hey, I want to welcome you here today. Guys, if you haven't gotten your tickets to Sub 2 Palooza yet, get over there and get them. We're going to be, that's why we're here, actually. We came down to get ready for the event and just have a good time in New Orleans. We're going to be here for a couple of months. We're going to see a lot of you guys down there on September 9th and 10th. If you're a Sub 2 Deals coaching student, you get a bonus day on the 11th and a riverboat dinner cruise, dancing and having a good time with all the speakers and sponsors. So it's going to be a great time. Ashley's here with us today. She's talking about VAs and how you can use VAs in your business to help you get stuff done. Welcome to Go Talk, Ashley. We're proud as we can be to have you here.
Thank you, William. I feel like it's a homecoming.
Yeah, really. Ashley's been in our group for a bit. I remember, gosh, I don't know, a couple of years now. Yeah, talking about her deals that she was doing, and we've seen her transition over to doing a lot of training and everything. So that's great. Tell us about
I grew up in Sub 2 Deals. That's my village.
Yeah. Yeah, been over here helping people and doing stuff. So tell us a little bit about you and how you got started in investing and training other investors, and about your group over there, the REI professors, and what you guys do.
Awesome. Well, in a nutshell, before real estate investing, I was a school principal in Houston, one of the largest school districts in the country. In that role as a principal, when you have such a large school, it's really like you're running a small city, right? I moved on from education very reluctantly, right? We were to a place where we were kind of living paycheck to paycheck. And I knew when baby number 3 was on the way, all of our money was going to go to daycare. And I was like, so how will we pay the mortgage, right? My husband's grandparents are real estate investors. They began talking and speaking life into us about certain things. Long story short, I got into wholesaling. Wholesaling, as William and anyone will tell you, you get exposed to so much because you have many different buyers buying in so many different ways, many different sellers. So I got a chance to touch lots of different deals. After wholesaling for a bit, saved up some capital, bought my very first property, and that's when I thought I made up subject to. I bought a property, came back with a bunch of liens, but I had already started rehabbing the property, so there was no going back. So I purchased the property anyway with the liens on it. And I was like, oh my God, I just invented this really cool real estate concept. And then I met William and realized, I didn't.
Yeah, we all think we invented it, don't we? But it's been around for a really long time for sure. Hey,
I was so serious.
Hey, Tammy, good to see you. Kevin, Angelia, gosh, Phil, Andre, CB. Good morning, you guys. Glad y'all could join us today. I know Ashley's got a lot of fans. Probably got a lot of people turning out to see her today. I like to think it's my good looking self, but now it's probably because I got a nice looking lady on here with me this morning. So it's good to see y'all anyway. Hey, if y'all got some questions, some preliminary questions about VAs, drop them in here. Anything about wholesaling, I'm sure Ashley will be very gracious and share all of her knowledge with us here this morning. So gosh, man, that was a fast story. It wore me out listening to it. So you were like a lot of people. You were doing something that you loved, but you realized, if I want to have all the things that I want in life, I'm going to have to do more than this. It's going to take more. So you found real estate investing.
Found real estate investing. That went extremely well. I'm a doer, and that's one thing that people forget too, is when you enter real estate, all of that experience that you have still comes with you. And so with me already being in the professional realm, it was easy for me to create standard operating procedures, training manuals. That's what I did for a living. I was a principal, right? Curriculum, teaching. And so it was a natural transition for me to go into teaching real estate. And I always like to tell people there's a difference between a teacher, a coach, a mentor, and a guru. Mm-hmm. I am not a mentor. I am not a coach. I am not a guru, because I think those people need to have lots of experiences, right, to be able to answer any question at any time and like me with only 4 or 5 years, although I've touched a lot, is nothing compared to what these, what the gurus do. So I explain I am not a guru. I'm a teacher. And what that means is I am really good at taking big concepts that are very difficult to digest, and I can put them into very small bite-sized pieces based on your learning style, because that's my strength.
Right, exactly. Yeah, make things simple. I think it's Frank Kern that had a quote that I really liked. That said, if you want to impress people, make something sound complicated. If you want to help people, keep it simple. And I really like that a lot. So, but I like Frank. So, hey, Marina. Oh gosh, we got some of your professors with us.
She was
Sterling.
actually supposed to be right here.
Yeah. So hey, we should have all of you guys on sometime to talk, all of you together. Sterling's here. Good to see you. Yeah. Hey, Andre, how are you training the VAs? Gosh, we're going to get right into it. Okay.
Let's do it.
Andre wants to know, how are you training the VAs? Are you training them by video, or do you have a specific platform that you use?
Oh, excellent question. So before I get into the VA stuff, let me just say I have VAs running my company and they write for me. So let me say this before I get into the VA stuff.
Okay. All right.
So virtualcoldcaller.com, we are the pioneers in hybrid virtual assistants. Essentially, we have call centers. We also offer virtual assistant services and management. We only focus on providing lead generation, and that is what makes us different. You have a lot of VA agencies trying to touch every. We don't do that. We do one thing well, and that is lead generation. So we work mostly with sales departments, real estate, investors, real estate professionals. Our biggest clients are like the big tech guys. Anyone who sell, they want to come to us because all we do is lead generation.
Okay. All right.
To answer the question about training, keep in mind I was a curriculum writer for a very long time, most of my life. I started teaching at 21, and by the time I retired, I was already in for about 15 years at that point. So it's an excellent training program. We do it all virtually. So there is no platform. There is no watch a bunch of videos and get back to us or modules. We have trainers who were trained under me. So they do things the Ashley way. And everything that we do is going to be face-to-face via Zoom. We want to see the reactions. We want to see who's paying attention, who's really getting it. Do we see the light bulbs going off? Who's asking questions? Those are the small, subtle things that I think a lot of people don't pay attention to when they're hiring VAs, that we make sure we have checklists for monitoring these things. So our training is face-to-face. We train, of course, on the English dialect, the American dialect, how to neutralize any accents that they may have. We focus on sales, right? And that's one thing I love about our training. Everyone else, you have to learn like 10 different things if you're a VA. For us, all you're learning is how to how to do lead generation. That's it.
Right. Okay.
Have a video repository and access to all of the scripts that we've made for support, but then they have to still go to our mandatory trainings twice a month. And they also have a VA manager who monitors, watches their calls, and makes sure that they're doing what we trained them to do. And if they don't, they just go back and get retrained.
Okay. So your VAs, and I apologize if I misled anybody, your VAs with virtual cold caller, that's all they do is cold calling.
That's all they do. And even the ones who do like admin, or if they do receptionists, they do that simply to support the cold calling and the lead generation efforts.
I got you. Okay. Hey, Steve, good to see you. Steve from Arkansas is on here. Yeah, I heard Ashley fade in and out just a little bit. It wasn't too bad. If you guys continue to hear that, let me know. Hey, good morning. Is that Ellie or L? Forgive me, pronounce that wrong. Is L? Okay. All right, great. Okay, cold calling. I know that previous to COVID, cold calling was really pretty simple. It was, for me, the numbers were about 100 to 1. I could call 100. Of course, I had certain criteria. I operated mainly off of Zillow. I would look for properties that were vacant, that had been listed for a little while. I knew if I talked to 100 people, I could probably buy a house. Today, things are a little bit different. You have to talk to a whole lot more people, and it just makes sense that you would want those calls pre-screened so you only talk to the interested parties. Yes. And that's where a cold caller comes in, and then Ashley, just to weed through all the people that want to cuss you out or hang up on you, and just get to the ones that say, yeah, I might be interested in that. Makes your job a lot simpler.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you cleared that up. That's one of the misconceptions I was going to address. A lot of people think cold caller equals, oh, lead and deal close. And you're right. Cold caller means that I've qualified the lead or I've set an appointment for you. But that is where the lead generation and the cold calling ends for your VA and begins for you or your acquisitions manager.
Right. So their job is just to ask a list of predetermined questions, and try to get somebody to raise their hand and say, I'd like to know more. It's not necessarily to say, come get my house. So when you get those 2 or 3 leads off of that day's calls, those aren't slam dunk deals. You have to close those deals.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
William, you are speaking to my clients right now. So some of our best clients are closers, right? Because closers are terrible lead generators.
Yeah.
You just want to get on the line and get that deal closed when they get somebody on the phone.
Yeah.
That is not how lead generation should work. You want to get those motivated people first, set the appointment, then only talk to the people who actually want to talk to you. I'm so glad you cleared that up. And so a lot of our clients, people are surprised that my biggest clients are sales managers. And they're like, sales managers, why don't they just call themselves? Sales managers are terrible lead generators.
Well, it's so, I mean, I know people like us, usually entrepreneurs and everything, we don't want to spend all day doing the grunt work. We don't want to do that. We want to do the stuff that makes money. And that's talking to people who are interested in selling their house, not weeding through all of the people that, no, I want all cash, or I want retail, or I don't want to take, because a lot of times, especially with us, you have to spend a considerable amount of time on the phone with them to develop any rapport or try to connect with them. And that's your cold caller's job, correct?
Yep. Yeah. Correct. That is your cold caller's job, to get that turn the cold lead into a warm lead for you.
Okay. Hey, Stuart, good to see you. Good morning to you. Charlie, good to see you on here. Kevin, yeah, hundreds of calls, right? We don't want to do that. We don't want to make all those calls. We want to be having lunch in the French Quarter, or doing something fun, or working on something else that's
working on your business.
Creative. So here's another problem that I see with a lot of especially newer investors. They don't know how affordable this caller can be. Tell us a little bit about, I mean, if you've got a budget, let's say that you're just starting and you don't have much of a budget, how many hours can I get a caller for if I don't have a lot of money to operate with?
I'm so glad you asked this question. Before, we did not have a service for someone who really just needed a couple hours here and there. We were a full-on service, VA company. And I felt like I was turning my back on my roots. Here I am making everything great for my corporate clients, and I'm building their entire businesses. But the people who helped me build my business, my sub-2 family, my REI professor's family, all of those people who supported me and got me to where I am, well, they can't even afford my services at that point. Is that truly my why? Is that why I started this? No. So we started a virtual call center. So our virtual call center is literally for those brand new investors who don't have standard operations. They don't have training manuals. Maybe they're still working the 9 to 5, so they can't work in tandem with their VA to train them properly. Not right now. So the call center option is a fantastic option. We do it's pay per dial. Dial, very simple. If you want 100 dials, cool, you can do it. If you want 1,000 dials, cool, we can do it. And now you get to use our standard operating procedures. So we have them created for the call center. You get to use our scripts and our dialers. So you don't have to spend all of that money up front that so many new investors do, the subscription trap, right? Now I got a dialer, now I have to pay for this, the VA every week. So the call center is in and out, is pay as you go, and you get to borrow our hours.
Okay.
Standard operations.
So Phil asked, how do you incentivize or reward your VAs?
Many different ways, right? I have some VAs who are extremely motivated by money. And so they work with some of my corporate clients, and they worked out where they get a 3% of each deal closed. Now we're talking more about my acquisitions managers and my disposition managers at this point. For our regular cold callers, it's very rare for them to get a bonus from the client. So that usually comes from virtual cold callers. So when they meet their KPIs, their key performance indicators for that week, then they get a bonus for that. Key performance indicators for our new investors is just how you're tracking your systems. Are they working or not? Are the leads closing or not, right? That is going to help you determine your funnel. Anyway, so we reward them for meeting KPIs. If they're working on marketing, then they'll have KMIs. They rewarded for that. And they're also awarded for attendance. We know that some of our some of the countries that we recruit from, like the Philippines, right? Sometimes they do have a reputation for being laid back and beachy and, not really, taking things as serious. And so we found a way immediately to circumvent that by offering an attendance bonus for punctuality. And we've seen leaps and bounds with it.
Right. So Ashley told me she has a freebie for you guys today. If you stay on here and you interact with us, ask some questions, be on the call. So what is that you got for everybody that you're going to give us today?
I have two things I would love to offer for free. The first thing I want to offer is a free assessment to see if you're ready for a virtual assistant. So this assessment is by yourself. You're just going to click a few boxes and let us know. And then we can offer to give you a free call back and give you a business consultation. Our client concierge has a degree in business operations and economics. So she's really good at speaking with our clients and seeing holes or bottlenecks in their sales funnel and helping to either congest or decongest that.
Wow.
And then also I want to offer you guys how to train your VA. I notice our newbies, they really don't know how to train. They don't know how to build systems. So this is going to show you how to build systems so that you can hire the people to manage the systems.
Well, there you go, Andre. I mean, that takes care of your question from earlier right there. She's going to give you a PDF to show you how to do that. So that's great. So you guys offer either VAs that you can book by the hour. I guess there's a certain number of hour commitment, or you said you have the call-in center where they can just say, hey, I want you to call 200 leads for me today. And if they can't afford anything until next month, then you can call 200, just something to get them started, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And what I love about the virtual call center too, we used to do this all the time when we first started. We will let you come in and listen to your list being dialed.
Right.
Hear the script. You can hear the subtleties in our voice, the questioning, and really the listening.
Right.
See the listening that our VAs are able to do, and then you can learn how to do it. And then from there, you can start creating your standard operations based on what you're seeing the call center do. So use it as an incubator, use it as a place to grow yourself and to teach yourself while your list call.
So when an investor uses your service, you guys provide all the equipment, the dialer, the stuff. You guys have all of that, so they don't have to do any of that stuff either.
Nothing. Just give us the list and we'll call the list to try to get some leads out of it for you.
Okay, great. So you're providing your list too. You need to. So what do they need to do when they do this? They need to give you a list that's been pulled and skip traced, so you have a number, and you guys just go down the list and call.
Yes. And in addition to that, I do still like to have a conversation first, because I know some newbies, they think a list means leads. And so I have to have a conversation with them first to ask, hey, have you optimized this list yet? Have you tried it? Do you have some baseline KPIs, or are we just kind of trying this out? Because I need them to understand the results are going to be different. If the list has not been optimized and we're just kind of trying it and throwing it out there, it's going to be different than a list that you've already tried. It works. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Conversations first, and then we talk about the results.
It sounds like you also, one of the benefits, you get a little bit of education in how to set your business up when you use your service. You actually explain to them. And I know what you're talking about, optimization. If I've got a list of just out-of-state owners, it's not going to be as good as out-of-state owners that are in foreclosure or have a tax lien or something like that going on. So she's talking about list stacking, guys. I know you've probably heard about that, but other things you can do to really more narrowly target your list to get better results, better chance of getting a lead from it. So that's what.
Yes.
So if I use your service, if I called you up today and said, okay, I want to hire a cold caller for 30 hours a week, do I get to pick the questions that they ask? Can I
absolutely
write my own script, so to speak?
Yes. So if you want our full-on management package, we are going to meet with you first to make sure that you do have scripts in place, that you do have some standard operations in place. If you don't, no worries. We just refer you to the REI professors, and they help you with the business building stuff, and then you come back when you're ready. But in sum, yes, I like the education part that we offer for our virtual cold calling staff, but I also like what we're able to do for our clients. And again, the REI professors are always there as a support. Alisa, our client concierge, she has a degree in business operations. I mean, the girl runs my entire company. Yes, a VA runs my entire company. As a matter of fact, she even has equity in it now. That's how involved she is. And she started out as a virtual assistant.
Great. Hey, Joni, good to see you on here. Joni's on.
Jody!
Hey, Ashley.
Our
Yeah,
brothers and
awesome.
sisters are here. No,
Yeah,
just need
everybody's
mom to come on. Where are you, Jody?
everybody's coming on. Yep. So tell us a little bit more about the REI professors. And I know you guys do your own version of Goat Talk. It's happy hour. And you guys do it actually on Thursday. So y'all will be doing that today. Tell everybody about that so they can come over and check you out.
Absolutely. Thank you. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. CST, 7 p.m. EST, the REI professors have a happy hour. We call it a virtual happy hour. And essentially, we're going to have guest speakers on. They're going to teach you, or sometimes we just have study groups. But the point is to support new or veteran investors. So you have a group where you can go and just have a good time. We call it happy hour because, I do a lot of speaking, and I kind of have gotten the reputation for being like a hard, straight to the point. And so I wanted people to see the happy hour, like with me, we're just having a drink, having a good time, not what you see on the videos and all of that, but just Ashley. And it has been phenomenal, William. Like I do no marketing for that group, literally zero marketing. And every week we have a great group, the same group. We've all been together for like about a year now. So I would love for anyone out there to come and join us, have a great time. It's fun, it's educational, but more than anything, you just have a network of people who are just supporting you and who are aligned to the same goals that you have. We actually had William on a couple of weeks ago.
I was on I was going to say, it's a great group. They ask really good questions. And if you've been around for a while, like I have, you can bring on a speaker to talk about something and they can talk about anything. But a lot of times the best information comes from the questions that the people ask, and because you can't put everything into a presentation, and they ask really good questions, and some of them make you think. So if you want to learn something, get over there, get on their call, and listen to what they're talking about over there. Who are you guys having today?
So today I'm going to be our guest speaker. I had to put on pretty makeup for you, so I was like, hey, I might as well get a 2-for-1 here. And today, all of July has been about going back to business basics. As I said, when we're teaching people or when I'm working with people with virtual cold caller, we're seeing the foundations aren't there. The business basics, finance, organizational charts, making sure that you have a goal for your business, just the small things. So today we're going to be talking about business operations. We're going to talk about the building blocks. What happens the day after you start your LLC or the real work starts?
Right.
We'll be discussing this evening.
And that's a great topic. I know in our coaching group, we actually, a few weeks ago, we're talking about some of the basics because people forget about that. There is a foundation to real estate investing. I'm a firm believer. That's our sort of our logo, so to speak, in the coaching groups: ready, fire, aim. But that's just to get you off your butt to take action. Once you take action, if you're like me, when I got started, I got a Carlton Sheets course and I just did what he said. And I bought a house, and then I bought another house, and I bought another house. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. I don't even know what's going on here, but now I own 3 or 4 houses. I better have a plan on how I'm going to set these things up. So yeah, you need to get out there and do some stuff, but you also need to have a plan on what you're going to do to build your business on a solid foundation. So you're absolutely right. That's super important.
Some people don't even know the difference, right? Like some people don't realize that you can be a real estate professional, you can be a real estate service provider, you can be a real estate business owner, you can be real estate self-employed. So it's important to know what is your goal so we can start aligning your business to meet those goals. Like our corporate clients are like, hey, guys, just build the business for us. Cool. We build the business, we move on. We build the business, we move on. But for our people who aren't necessarily trying to build a whole business and you just want to be self-employed, you don't need that. You don't need me to build your business. You just might need a VA to write operating procedures for you. So yeah, those basics are so necessary and they're missing. And it's costing us, right? As wholesalers too, is really costing the wholesale world a lot of business and a lot of regulations because we have people entering this space without business basics, even the etiquette basics that are required to do well in this business.
Right. I see that all the time. And I hate to pick on wholesalers, but I mean, the truth of the matter is they seem to be some of the biggest renegades out there. I mean, they really, you go into some of the wholesaling groups and man, they eat their own. You know what I mean? It's brutal in some of those groups and some of the things they do. But and we all fuss about regulation. Oh gosh, there's a new law. You got to be licensed to be a wholesaler in this state or that state or whatever. But we have to self-police, and we have to do things ethically and honestly and not take advantage of people. Get something under contract, tie it up for 2 months, and then I can't find a buyer because I didn't know my numbers or didn't know what to do. So then it goes back to sellers that are in foreclosure or having some problems, they're under tight timelines. And we have to take responsibility for some of that stuff.
100%. I love what you said. We need to self-police. We need to have some accountability standards as a whole for this community. I mean, I am a wholesaler. I build wholesaling businesses all day long. And I know that most of us are great people.
Right.
But it is those small renegades who can't take the time to take a small course or watch a YouTube video, something, but learn how to do business so all of us aren't affected. Because I love wholesaling and I do it remotely. And I don't like that now, in Illinois, I have to do things differently. And now in Oklahoma, I have to think twice, Let's
Yeah.
keep everyone. Just come to me at Williams Groups and we'll teach you how to do it the right way and we can all keep making money.
Exactly. I mean, that's true. And that's one of the most dangerous things. Yes, I offer a course. Yes, I offer training. But I tell as many people that call me about JV partnerships or anything else, and more than we take on, we tell you don't need it. This is what you need to do. But you see this in these groups where they say, who has the best course on whatever? Oh, you don't need a course. Just go watch some YouTube videos. Just go listen to some podcasts and you're good to go. Guys, that's dangerous stuff. You need to vet a trainer, somebody that's been around, somebody that's well known and respected, and that's who you need to learn from. Even if it's a local mentor, they don't have to have a course, but you're probably going to have to do some legwork for them to get them. You can't take them to lunch or buy them a coffee and expect them to give you 20 years of experience at that meeting. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Right.
100%. Yeah. For one, the YouTube is dangerous, and I have nothing against it. It's okay as a supplement, right? You do the YouTube as a supplemental training. That should not be your core or your basis. I mean, for any business, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah. I had to go in and have surgery a couple of months ago, and I would really like to know that my doctor had formal training and not YouTube training when he cut me open.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, William. Yes. I like that analogy.
Yeah. Hey, Marina. Hey, listen, it was my pleasure to be over there. I'd love to come over and talk to your group anytime. Don't talk. Sterling says don't talk about wholesalers. Listen, if you hang around me, you'll hear me talk about wholesalers and realtors. That's just what I do. Now, I always try to qualify that by saying present company excluded as always. Okay. If you're here, it's probably because you're a little bit better than the average bear. So, but I'm just saying as a rule, you know what I mean? It seems like, I guess because wholesaling seems like there's a really low barrier to entry. You just get in there, you get something under contract, you move along. And for that reason, it seems to attract a lot of people that play fast and loose with the rules. Listen, I'm not a rule follower either. Anybody that knows me knows, I'll tell you, don't break the rules, but you bend them suckers as far as you can without breaking them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we always want to make sure that, hey, Ron says, hello, Ashley.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Matt's in here with us too.
Hey, Matt.
You always have to operate ethically, thinking about your seller. What kind of position are they in? Be absolutely certain about the numbers. I like to use a phrase that we used in the restaurant business for years, and that's, if there is a question, there is no question. And we do that about food quality, but with me, if it's a deal and there's a question about whether it's going to be profitable, there is no question. It's a pass.
Yes.
We've got to know that that's going to be a moneymaker.
Yes. And I think that goes back to us saying that's why our group needs to keep each other regulated. Because when I think of like the Sterlings in wholesaling, I mean, the guy is incredible. I mean, he's helped so many people, even me. We use Sterling to help a lot of our corporate clients because he's an amazing wholesaler. And I hate that he has to share that name with Mr. So-and-so who just decided to get a property under contract somewhere and has no good intentions. Sterling and that guy should never hold the same title. And that's why I think I don't want us to have regulations, but I do want our community to keep each other accountable. Right. I don't want Sterling's name associated with so-and-so over there who's making us all look bad.
Well, I'll tell you this, Sterling, if you're, and I know you're in the group and I've seen you post, I know you from that manner. it actually says you're totally straight up, honest, ethical wholesaler or whatever, then you need to have your own group and you need to be training people
Been
because
telling you better get out of
because
my brain, William. I've been telling Sterling, but actually, I kind of don't want him to because it's nice to have him to myself because I get all the excellent lead gen. But he's such a great service to so many.
you go into these 100,000 member wholesaling groups, and I mean, man, they're like, it's pretty rough over there. Corey says he stayed at a Holiday Inn one time, and now he's an expert at everything. So, Corey, I knew that you were a smart cookie.
You're not an expert until you do YouTube it.
That's right. YouTube. That makes you an expert, right? Let's see. I love that saying of yours, William. If there's a question, there is no question because it's true, Tammy. It's because it's true. If there's any question about whether this deal is going to be a moneymaker, you pass on it, or you take it to somebody with more experience than you that can show you. Because if I don't know I'm making money, I'm out. Let's see. Hi, I'm new here in the industry. Extremely excited to be on here, quite eager to learn and get going. Hey, well, whatever you need help with, whether it's wholesaling, you got people like Sterling, Ashley, that can help you out with that. If you got questions about creative finance, they can answer those too, but I'll be glad to help you. If you got questions, just post them on here. No, he says, nope. Sterling says, nope, not going to happen. Okay, well, hey, my grandfather always said, don't ever say what you're not going to do because that is exactly what you will do.
Ooh, I am not going to be a millionaire. I will never be a billionaire.
And he was right too.
That's how it works.
He was right too, because I'll tell you, for 10 years straight, we were talking about this before the call. I was the biggest confirmed bachelor in the world. I will never, ever, 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 ever marry again. And then one day Jody popped up in my coaching group and I said, hey there, what's your name? That was it, Hey, Tim Callahan, good morning. Good to see you.
Hey, Tim. Yeah. So, William, can I tell everyone the top 5 reasons I think they should have a VA?
Absolutely. Tell us.
Yes. Well, I think number 1, you already have a VA. You just call it Siri or Alexa, right? But to get those VAs to do what you want, you need to almost have a master's degree in computer science to get it all programmed in. And so a virtual assistant, essentially, you already have one. Now you have one that you can customize. Now you have one that's personal and who can talk to you and make calls on your behalf. The second thing is passion, right? Like if I have a marketing campaign going on, but I have bookkeeping, I love marketing. I love being creative. The bookkeeping part, not so much. And so what I love about it is you get to focus on the things that you are good at, the things that you originally started the business to do. And so that we can do the part where we're working in the business and doing the mundane tasks. I think the third thing is time. Time is one thing that none of us can get back. It is never coming back to us. And so when you're thinking about your time in terms of you being the CEO of your own business or the CEO of yourself, you might want to value your time and say $400 an hour, right? Do you really have an hour then to check 300 emails to see which ones you need to respond to? No, checking emails is not a $400 job, right? That's a $7 an hour job that your VA should be doing for you. So definitely to get your time back. Number 4 reason why you should, money. You're a CEO. You should be working on money generating tasks. Calling a list of 1,000 people and getting hung up on is not a money generating task. You need to be networking. You need to be building your business. That's what you should be working on, not the small things. And then of course, freedom. And William and I talked about this before the call. Last year, I was able to take 6 months. Me, my 3 kids and my husband, we just drove around the country, did some RVing, some Airbnb. We were able to run all of our companies remotely. And it's because we had the VAs, we were able to do that. I see so many people, they think that when they move into entrepreneurship that they're leaving the rat race, right? I'm leaving the 9-to-5 rat race, but they trade in one rat race for the other. You just created a job for yourself, and now you don't even have all the support and resources that you had at the 9-to-5. So you're on multiple wheels at this point. The only way you're going to get out of that is by delegating. You want to train people to take over. Now, I'm not saying dump and jump, right? Dump and jump is when you just say, oh, you're here now, VA, I'm so glad, goodbye. No, but we want to train and transfer and delegate those tasks. So eventually you are pulling yourself out of those in the business type situations, and you're focusing on the vision, your mindset, your family, who it is you truly wish to be. What is your ultimate goal? And what we love about virtual cold caller is you can manage everything from your phone. Your VA will be right here in the phone. We use a messaging app, and we also use Zoom if you prefer to use our virtual office, which is a courtesy if you use our services as well. So time, money, freedom, and focus, I think, are the 5 reasons why you definitely need to have a VA, and you need to have one today.
Absolutely. So, absolutely, you need to. It's virtualcoldcaller.com. That's your website. Okay,
Mhm.
great. So you want to hire fully trained VAs. So if I call you and get your guys, they're already trained. They know what to do. Basically, all I have to do is give you the questions that I want asked and provide you with a script. I mean, not a script, but a list, and you guys are ready to roll.
That's it. That's it.
All right, great. So tell me, you had gone into earlier your training methods for how you get your people trained and,
Mhm.
and being able to do the best job possible. Do you have any numbers as far as if I give you a list of 200, how many typical leads I could expect to get from that? And I know those are going to vary. They're not always absolute, but typically, if I give you a list of 200, what should I expect to get from those?
I think cold calling always expect 3% for me would be my average number, right? I will always tell people expect 3%. If you get more, great. If you don't, that's understandable too. But the average is going to be about 3% of the list. That's for like a random list, right? If you have a list that you stacked and then optimize that stack list, that means you stacked it and you optimized it to make sure that that's the right stacking to get the right kind of people on your list. I've seen them upwards of 60, 70%.
Wow. Yeah, that's
That
incredible.
list wants to talk. Every single person on that list. Sterling, for instance, we have a corporate client that is growing pretty large, and Sterling helped us a lot with building their lead generation. Their lead generation now comes from Facebook ads. So every call is a yes, because all of those people are just coming in through the Facebook leads.
Right.
If you ask me about that list, the Facebook ads list, I will tell you 100%.
Right.
I tell you 100% of those people are going to say yes. Are they all going to be good deals? No, but they all say yes on that type of optimized list.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of knowing, me being a real estate investor, right? I know your FSBO list is going to give you a different result than your pre-foreclosure list. And that's going to give you a different result from, your Facebook ads list. And so I'm able to consult you specifically on what type of list it is that you choose to use.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely going to vary depending on the list. If you just pull a list of homeowners, like people like to text to a zip code or an area code or whatever, that's going to be a really low turnout because there's no indicator any of those people have a problem or want to sell.
Exactly.
Yeah. So everyone can. Okay, Charlie has a question. Is your rate? Your charge is based on what you want the VAs to do for you or your client. Well, is your rate, your charge based on what you want the VAs to do for your client? I'm not really sure I understand.
So I think I see what you're saying. Essentially, all of our VAs are the same rate because they all have had the same training. And William and I talked about this before. I don't want to digress too much, but when you are hiring experienced VAs, you are sometimes getting yourself into some trouble because they've had enough experience to really kind of trick you and outsmart you. So we try to source people who are college educated, who speak excellent English, and then we teach them how to transfer their skills into cold calling and into what we do. So that's sorry. But anyway, the question was though, is it more? It's more if you want a specialized position. So a lot of our bigger clients, they want acquisitions managers, they want dispositions managers, they want TCs, the larger positions. So for those, yes, you are going to pay more. It takes me a lot more to train them. It takes a lot more for me to find them. Our best acquisitions managers are actually homegrown. So it takes me months to get them ready to transition to acquisition manager. They're working in my business. They're working in our practice center. Trying to get all of those experiences. So if you want a specialized position, it is going to cost you more. But for basic cold calling, we have one flat price. If you train your own cold caller into acquisitions, or you train your own cold caller to take on some admin, we do not increase the price. We would, of course, have a conversation with you and suggest that you do if you want to keep a happy employee. Right. But once your VA is yours, it's yours. Whatever other tasks you want to train them to do, we totally support you in that.
So if I understood what you said correctly, if I call you and I hire somebody, or I hire you for enough, for X amount of hours per week, or however it may be, I'm going to have the same person working for me all the time. So you assign me a person. It's just not whoever at random. Is that right?
That's correct. We'll send you voice samples first. We're really good at that. And from the voice samples, you'll narrow down maybe your top 2 or 3 that you enjoyed. We'll invite them to interview with you. You'll conduct the interview. Of course, I'll be there in case you forget to ask some important questions that I know you need to know that's going to be best for your business. Otherwise, I'm quiet, not like today. And then once you choose your top 3 candidates to interview with them, you like them, we have you choose your favorite one, of course. And then we also ask who will be your backup. And we do that because people are humans. If something happens, if someone gets COVID or something like that, we don't want your entire business to stop. We have a plan B ready to go. So you'll start with your plan A, get everything going, get everything started. Your VA manager, all of the questions that you have, the things that you think you don't know how to do, it's already done for you. The VA manager takes care of the setup. He'll help you with your dialer. He'll help you with essentially whatever you need. We try to give you a plug and play.
Right. I had one of my students, we were talking about lead generation a couple of nights ago in our coaching group, and they brought up an interesting, just in their experience. And you work with a lot of VAs, a lot of cold calling, obviously. So I just wanted to get your thought on this. They said that they have noticed that male cold callers seem to get better results. Found that to be true?
I have not found that to be true. And
track all the numbers.
First started. Now I would say men are becoming more acceptable on cold calls because it used to be a time where if it wasn't a female voice, people felt like I don't even want to touch it. So men are more accepted now in the cold calling space, but to say that men have gotten better results, I have not seen that.
Okay. All right. So I figured I'd ask the experts. So. Yeah. Everybody's mileage varies and all of this stuff. Jim said, suppose I use, then discontinue your services. Do the phone numbers still belong to me, or do you now consider them community property?
It depends on what package you have. So if you have the VA management package where you just have a VA service from us, they're using your dialer and your equipment, right? Because you're saying you want them to be a part of your company. If you are using our call center, then the phone number and the dialer belongs to us. Now, I've never had anyone ask if they could keep their phone number from a call center, because remember, it's a call center. It's not a virtual assistant. So we're calling many people. We buy a phone number based on the area code that you're in. But let's say if we finish your list of 1,000 and we're calling from a phone number that you like, once we finish that list, and let's say you come back in 2 months, we can't guarantee that phone number is available. We just buy the phone number and your area code so we look local when we're making the calls for you. So we don't even really own the phone number, but we have a VA manager who could set you up. So if you know you're going to be canceling your service, you can just say a week in advance, hey, VA manager, why don't you come on and help me set up my own dialer, help me set up my own phone number, and we'll just make sure that you have an easy exit and you're able to fly on your own.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of different packages available. I mean, somebody with their own dialer and their own system can call and just get a caller. Somebody that doesn't have anything can come in and get the full package. Somebody that can't afford a caller on a regular basis can just say, hey, dial 200 numbers for me. Gosh, you have a lot of different choices, I guess, to fit pretty much any budget or situation.
Absolutely. And it's easy for us to do because we only focus on one thing, right? All we're doing is lead generation. So it's easy for me to offer it to you many different ways, unlike other places who are giving lead generators and admin and, tech people, and they have all of these different things. So they can only offer one package. So I love the flexibility in doing one thing well.
I have a lot of comparisons to the food service industry because I did that for 20 years. And I remember when KFC ran a promotion, well, that was their marketing strategy at the time. We only do one thing and we're the best because we only do one thing. We do chicken, and that's all we do. So, of course, years later, they got away from that and they do everything in the world. At that time,
yes,
they did. So, yeah.
Then Chick-fil-A came and stole the same concept. One thing and blew it.
But I think Chick-fil-A is going to stick with it because Chick-fil-A is like the best. That's probably one of the things I miss the most when I lived out of the country because I lived in Belize. They only had one fast food restaurant in the whole country. It was a Subway, and it was in Belize City. That was it. I mean, you didn't get fast food in that country. It's funny. Sterling says people love women cold callers. So, okay, I know. I'd rather be called by a girl.
Me too. Sometimes men can come off as salesy and pushy. I really prefer a nice, gentle asking me about my home. Ugh. No,
Sam says, and I know,
that's not HR compliant.
I know Sam is man, he is a beast on the phone. I've seen his setup there. He said women are stone cold crushers on calls, no doubt. Have any
Sam
VA
Peterson?
Sam Peter? Yeah, that's what he
And Sam, I haven't seen you in forever. We had a chance to come see you and meet you in Charlotte a couple years ago, man. I can't wait to see you again once all this pandemic stuff is over.
I know, man. I feel honored he's on here. He's hardly ever on social media anymore. He asked, have any VAs who can specifically stack a list or mine example from PropStream? So I guess he's asking you, do you have any VAs who can stack a list?
So I don't have any trainings right now for VA list stacking, but I always encourage people when they say that, if you know someone who can, or if you know a trainer, get your VA in there, sign them up for the training class on how to stack, and then leverage their time and let them become the expert in stacking it. So don't let us limit you. Yes, we specialize in training them in cold calling, but they have degrees. These people are smart, you know? So if you have them come on and you want them to do something else, train them. I don't do lists because of the conflict of interest. Because I work with so many clients, I never want a client to think that I'm giving one client a list or one VA who can make a better list. So I really try to stay hands off with that. But if the client trains the VA, or if the client sends the VA to training and the VA tends to get good at it, that's not a virtual cold caller. You know, I'm not accountable for that. You can teach whatever.
Right. Rudy asked, are your packages only 20 hours or 40 hours per week? What about 30 hours per week? Rudy,
I'll work out something for you with 30.
So can you get 30, or is it just 20 or 40?
Well, I try to keep it simple, as we talked about when we started this, right? The more simple you keep your business, the better you can be at it. So that's why I try to keep those. But I mean, I have corporate clients all over the world, right? I mean, even our clients in Tel Aviv, or our clients who are in Australia, they have different needs. So I'm happy to customize. I just present our packages that are simple for me to track. But if you like something custom, I mean, seriously, like one of our largest clients is the Uber Eats of Israel. They're huge. You know, if the guy needs different hours, if the guy wants whatever you want, you know, it doesn't make me a difference. As long as you're only asking me to do lead generation and you have a minimum of 20 hours, happy to do it.
Rudy, you're a real estate investor. If you haven't learned anything, you should have already learned. If you want something, if it's not on the menu, and I mean that in a figurative sense, just ask for it. Chances are you can get it, you know? So, I mean, that's how it works. That's what we do all the time. In it, we talk to sellers and we ask them if we can take over payments, and everybody knows that's either illegal or you can't do it or whatever, but sellers say yes and we do it, and that's how it works. Because we ask. What is the answer to any unasked question?
No.
That's exactly right. And what's the worst thing that can happen if you ask? They'll say no.
I have a great example of this. When I first started teaching real estate, and I was obsessed with your training materials. I mean, it was awesome reading through all of it. And I remember I just started teaching. I was like, man, I really want to give all of my students William's book, but I don't know how that works. Like, I'm afraid to ask. I'm just Ashley's trying to be like, what are you even doing? You know, messaging me. But I took a leap of faith and I said, hey, William, look, I know I'm new at this. You know, you've basically raised me in real estate here in this group, but I really love your book. It changed my life. I really want to make sure all of my students have it. And he said, yes. I was like, what? You have to ask. And now my students are doing extremely well because they have the materials that I use, Williams. And
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Rudy said, I just did. Well, sure you did. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Just ask. So,
that's right.
Yep. So Ashley, tell us again about your happy hour. We've got let's see, we've got about 10 more minutes. If you've got any other VA questions, let us have them. Also, Ashley says she'll answer questions about wholesaling. If you got something off topic like that, we'll do that. Anything you got, we'll answer it while we're here. Tell us about your happy hour, what your topic is today, what time you're doing it. And these guys, this is the REI professor's goat talk. It's happy hour, and they do it every Thursday. So tell us about it.
Yes, every Thursday, 6 p.m. CST, 7 p.m. EST, we meet. We call it the Real Estate Happy Hour, and essentially we are teaching real estate. We pick a different topic every week, and we, of course, bring people on who are smarter or more experienced or differently experienced than we are to teach real estate concepts. We call it happy hour because we want it to be laid back and casual. In my past life, I was a school principal. Dan, the other real estate professor, was a CFO for a really large company. Marina was the COO for a really large company. We all were very stringent, and we needed to relax. So we started happy hour so people can get to know us in a casual environment. I'm sipping my Prosecco, Marina's gonna have some bourbon, Dan's got his green tea stuff, and we're just having a good time teaching, learning, and networking every Thursday. Tonight, we're gonna be talking about business operations. So this month, we've taken it back to the business basics. Last week was business finance basics. How do I do my basic accounting setup for my business? And today is going to be about the organizational setup. What do I do after I start the LLC? How do I know what my goals are? What is a quarter? How do I plan for the quarter? What's an organizational chart? All of the things that have to get done if you eventually want to take yourself out of your business. We call it the McDonald's method. Well, not we, everyone calls it that. So I want to teach you how to do it tonight.
Okay, great. Ashley, Charlie says, Ashley, any wholesale 101 courses coming up?
Oh, you were there. See, this is why I love this group of the community. I did that course maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I remember I was big and fat, just had babies. Oh my God. First of all, thank you for remembering that course. And yes, we still have Wholesaling 101, but it is nothing like you remember. Back then, it was me trying to figure it out. Now you have me, Dan, and Marina. All of us own about $30 million of real estate between the three of us. And we built so many wholesaling businesses since then. I take the class again. I'm telling you, the one you got back then was cool. It was great. But the one you'll get now with the Ashley who's built dozens of wholesaling businesses, oh, you come to that course. Yes, you hit me up and I cannot wait to teach it and hear your opinion on then and now.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like we've got one coming up. So,
oh, right. Yes.
If you're interested in wholesaling, you want to get on that. Guys, I want to remind you again, we do this every single week. We're actually going to switch over to StreamYard sometime here in the future and stream. We're going to do live to YouTube. We're going to be, of course, live in here, live on our pages. So you'll be able to share Go Talk on your page and hopefully get out there and get some other people involved other than just our group here. We've kept it private for, I think Jody told me yesterday, 25 episodes. So we want to take this thing nationwide and I want you guys to help us with that. So we're glad you're here today. We're glad you came out to listen to Ashley. If you haven't gotten your tickets to Sub2Palooza, I'm going to shamelessly plug that again. Listen, I haven't done an event in over 10 years, and we pulled together an amazing lineup of world-class trainers, only people who have been in the business a really long time. They've all been through multiple cycles. There are no new ruse in this group, and they're there purely to teach you. One of the things that I talked to them about was the fact that we weren't going to do any hard sales there, no hard sales from the stage. They'll have a table in the hallway. If they have products, you can go out there and talk to them about it there, but they're going to teach their full time on stage. So come out and listen to Bill Bronchick, Richard Roop, Scott Horn, Bill Walston, Lolita Sherrow will be there. Nicholas Nick will be there. We've got a ton of people. We're going to have Quest Trust there, showing you how to set up and why you should set up a Roth IRA or a 401k to not pay taxes on your real estate income. So you definitely want to be there. You can go to sub2palooza.com, get your tickets. I think our hotel rooms are sold out, but we might have one or two left. I need to check the report. Ashley, thanks so much for being here with us today and sharing all about your VAs, your cold callers, and your Wholesaling 101 course and your happy hour. And everybody, get over there, get signed up for it. Do you do that as an event? Can they get notification to remind them to jump on later today?
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, definitely. If you guys want to reach out to us, reiprofessors@gmail.com, or just follow me on Facebook. I'd love to see you, and I'll meet you at Sub2Palooza.
Oh, great. See, we're going to have an insane mob of investors there. So I'm so looking forward to it. Thanks, guys, for being here. Thanks, Ashley, for being here. We appreciate you. As always, we're going to have all three of you guys on here another time to talk about what you do. So thanks so much. We'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great day. Talk to some sellers and buy some houses. Bye-bye.